Yes, I believe you are recording. We will see if.
I think the ship's listing a little to the left. Oh, there's Art,
Oh,
our Santa Claus.
It-
Oh, he's showing a little mustache on us. Look at that. Got a little mustachio there. Artistic.
Linux must not fully support this camera because it looks blurry to me. And with Windows, it was a pretty clear camera. Right, black.
It's got a good focus on your finger there.
Yeah. Does it focus at all? Can you rotate the lens any?
I don't think so. Can you hear us, Art?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Okay, we're good to go.
It seems pretty in focus to me now.
Now it looks better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's focused on your toy there.
It's close in, yeah.
I don't know. It seemed like it worked better under.
I don't know.
I don't know. Art noticed it last week too. So
Okay, let me tell you what my perspective is. Steve is out of focus, but
Watch
the
this, Steve.
but
He's kind of out
the
of focus here. We see.
Roomba or whatever it is was in focus until you took it away. And as a matter of fact, the green part is not in focus, but the little vent here on the near side is in focus. Yeah, right there. That's in focus. The green part's fuzzy and Steve is out of focus.
yeah.
I'm also out of touch, but that's okay.
Well,
Let's see if he, okay, now.
I don't think that's a
green
technical
there.
problem, Steve.
See, if-
I,
that's better.
for some reason or another, it's focusing on the nearest object.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's kind of what you would expect if it were smart.
We can. I'll play with it. I'm doing updates.
You know what?
I'll play with it at the house and see if the
I
old,
think the reality is, if you don't have anything in the near field, then the rest of the field becomes in better focus.
Just tip it down so that's in focus.
Yeah,
I bet it's a driver somewhere. I bet Linux doesn't really have the right driver for it and it's using some generic driver.
so what camera are you using?
It's a Logitech, looks
It's a yeah, it's a Logi, it's a 1080p high definition. I don't remember what the actual camera name was.
LOGI is all.
LS USB. It is
C615.
C615. Yep, that's what it is.
It's cute as a button.
I got it for a reasonable price off of eBay, but it was an expensive camera.
Did you ever get your fingerprint reader working right?
In Linux?
Yeah.
No, I don't even,
It will.
I don't even have it working with Windows, so
No,
I don't really care.
I kind of like to do an update, authenticate yourself. It works nice.
So what was a reasonable price there, Leroy?
The what?
What was the reasonable price you're quoting
I
off of eBay?
think it was like $20 for that camera.
Oh, really? That's interesting. The one I've got seems to work fine with Linux. I got it from Amazon. I don't remember.
Oh, I found some instructions on it.
It seemed like it worked better when I was using the Windows side of the partition now.
Does it actually have a focus motor?
Not that one. It's a fixed focus. So it's gotta all be in the drivers to do stuff. At least that's what I think.
Probably.
So I got an update, Art.
Just a minute, I'm looking for the camera I'm using. Okay, update.
So remember last week I said that I really wasn't having much luck getting this Roomba to program through Arduino. And I've got it updated. I got it fixed.
Okay,
I wrote an actual board core for it. So I was able to add it into the boards manager. See where it
Uh-huh.
says iRobot create command module.
cool.
And I was able to add some examples for it. So that's it's still kind of a work in progress because I still haven't actually changed the pin number assignments yet, but I used the old core, the old board core for the Duomo, Dumate, whatever it is.
How do I focus my Logitech web phone? Does a Logitech 615 have autofocus?
So
It's certified and equipped with an autofocus lens that makes blurry pictures a thing of the past.
so it's an add-on.
It's a feature
It's a feature.
that works great.
One of the things that I noticed from the documentation for the command module and the original board core that was there was that the frequency of the CPU is off. So
That's interesting.
They run it faster
they run it faster
by a weird number.
by a weird number. And this is the song thing. Watch it. It turns on the thing. That's their demo. I
Okay.
just took their demo and turned it into something more Arduino-y. So what you can do with the board core is you can add libraries that are automatically included in the build process.
Mhm.
So you see where it says turn on, initialize, change your baud rate. Define songs is actually down here. It's your byte controls to send information to the thing. This is all done in the cores part of the thing. So a standard core comes with everything, but I added those two files and I added that file, which was originally provided by iRobot for the original C code. So
Okay.
this is an original, it's not really a library. It's all the defines for doing various and sundry things. So if I wanted to find out, read one of the sensors, I would just say, read sensor whatever, and it would send the right command to read that sensor.
Are they pin defines?
No, those are the way this thing works.
Or is that an entry point into its little firmware?
Kinda.
Okay,
The robot itself has a processor on board.
Mhm.
The command module talks over serial, over a serial kind of deal to the processor that's on board. So if you want to know, I don't know what sensor one is, but say that's this
yeah,
this side of the thing, you would send your 128 command, which is, hey, I'm going to send you a command. It's a entry point for, hey, I'm going to send you a command, and then you would send 44.
okay,
And 44 would then in turn talk to the processor that's on board. That processor would grab whatever value the sensor is and send it back up on a read line, on
Okay.
a RX line instead of the TX line. So basically you can communicate back and forth between the two. That's what the entry points are. You see here, it says byte command play, which would be the start to play a song. And then you need to know which song, which is defined up here. So the reset song is 0. I could have just as easy said, send the command 0
okay,
instead of, but I was trying to keep it, So if we look, you can go up here and you can go, our command play is in the command values, and it would be right here, it's 141. So you could change that. They tried to make it easy so people could remember, instead of remembering numbers, remember a word. When you set up, it goes up here somewhere, it says define songs. So when you set up your songs to play, our reset song, we say command song, that tells it, hey, get ready. We're going to, it's 140, it says, hey, get ready. I'm going to send you data for making a song. And then the reset song, it can hold something like 9 or 10 different musical notes.
okay,
So the first byte would be what position you wanted to store your music in.
okay,
And then your second byte would be, hey, my song is only 4 bytes long. Even though it looks like it's 8 bytes. Don't question it, it's 4 bytes.
okay,
Don't question it. So my song is 4 bytes. It's four notes and a duration. So it's 8 bytes, 4 notes.
yeah,
So you got what would that be? I don't know. 8 or whatever for a length of 6, whatever 6 is.
yeah, hundredths of a second.
Hundredths of a second. You've got those two are a pair, those two are a pair, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you go, when you want to hear one of those songs, you just call it as the play command and tell it which song you want to hear. So you could make these songs much longer or much shorter, but you're taking space away from. So if you want to put a bunch of songs in there, but you all want them to be 16, you might only be able to fit 6 in its memory instead of all 10 of them or whatever it is. I forget what the book says, but the book says that's how you do it. So that's was the huge stumbling block, was just getting it to talk to the processor in the first place.
Yeah.
And I think part of that was because the frequency was off and it just wasn't negotiating. Its timings were wrong and it just wasn't negotiating correctly. But then you see here, because of the way this is written, I can also use, the Arduino commands to flash the LEDs. So I can digital write, I can analog write because pin 5 and 6 are PWM capable. So I can still use the Arduino to kind of do a combination of robot code and Arduino code.
Yeah.
So I made huge progress, but it's still not done. It's still not perfect. But if we want to do change one of these songs for whatever reason, if we wanted to put 100, if we wanted to bump them all up to 100, I don't know what that's
And
actually
those are
going to
gonna be
do.
really high frequency,
That's probably a high frequency. I could plug this in,
or maybe very low,
or
that might be a delay.
and then I hope it works with this one, but I can actually now say upload with programmer, and it should actually do it. It should actually be able to compile
Many
it.
warnings.
Oh, what's my warning? What happened? Oh, that's because I probably still need to tell it that it's on this USB port. Upload using program. Let's try that again. It's still giving me a problem. Oh, what the? That's not right. You're not supposed to be version 2. Okay, so it's still broken. It was working. I promise it was working.
Well, the programmer is, you
Program.
can select it. It was in the tools menu. It's toward the bottom.
Did I not select the right program? Oh, crap. Why are all these programmers still up here? So that one. In the IDE at home, it took all that out. It just gave me the programmer that I told it to use. There it goes. I'm using an older version of the IDE. Is it done? Did it do it? It's done. Let's see what difference. Oh. I still don't know why this is true as well. I've got to take the battery out to reset everything. I got to figure out why. I got to figure out what's going on with that.
There's no reset button on the board.
Whatever I just programmed must have been out of range. I didn't hear anything. It only played three songs that time instead of 4. No, there's no reset. There is a reset, but it doesn't reset the robot. It only resets the command module.
Ah.
And
Okay.
for whatever reason, once it starts playing music, the robot looks like it goes into a low power mode or something, so it doesn't come back out of it. And that could be that my batteries are just weak, or it could be that there's some command somewhere that's saying go to sleep.
So the robot can't walk and fart at the same time? Is that what you're telling me?
The drive program that they gave me that I haven't had a chance to convert yet, it looks to me like it can play a song and move off the drive around a bit, but as soon as one of the bumpers hits something, then it stops and goes to sleep. So I think I think I probably have a go to sleep command somewhere and I just don't realize it,
Okay.
because I had to make my own libraries up for this thing. And I was doing it, trying to figure out, what was going on. And I was doing it from one of their examples. So it's very likely that that in the initialized routine or something, that there is something that tells it to go to sleep. So these are some of the commands that were added to the library. Like I said, it's still a work in progress, but it's a lot better than, hey, I don't know why it's not working.
Okay.
And it's actually, this is my first attempt at ever trying to build a board core. So I don't really know exactly 100% what it is I'm doing. I'm just doing it. See, there's power toggles. So it's actually to power on the robot. It actually uses the port commands, the low level stuff to do it. It's basically created its own serial routine as well, because even though I had switched the frequency correct, the serial port, the serial commands that are in the original Arduino library just don't work with this thing. It wants it to be like that. That works. I don't know. I don't really know why, but it works. So I'm not arguing with it. Just don't use the serial begin and all that stuff, and you're fine. Then there's some setup for timers and other stuff. The timers are where I really, I am completely lost when we start messing with the registers for the timers. I understand some of what it's doing, but the timers are what kind of, I'm kind of going, okay, if you tell me that that's what you need, then that's what we'll do. Let's see, there's a way to turn it off. Right through here, this is the turn off on command. And then this is the toggle, so that if it senses that the robot is already on, it won't power toggle it. But if you wanted to turn it off, then you got to send it to the power toggle again to turn it back off. And I think that somewhere it's being called twice, or it's being told to go to sleep. I just got to dig into what's happening with it.
Cool.
But that's my progress, such as it
Very
is.
good. Very good.
That was my big thing.
That can be a big thing. I am curious about this little sensor there.
Okay.
Does it have directionality? Does it know that the charger base is here or?
Supposed to see it 360 degrees. That would imply that it would know that it's behind it or in front of it, right?
Or just that it's getting brighter or dimmer as it moves?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's going forward and
I mean,
it's getting dimmer. Turn around.
it's a pretty stupid robot, really. So I would guess, oh, the intensity is better if we're going
Yeah.
this direction.
Now there's a chair leg in the way. And it's gone.
It's gone. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know. That's a good question. What I know is that's it. That's it. That's all I know. I'm having fun diving into these board cores, so finding out. I mean, you're really getting into the low level stuff of how the Arduino IDE works when you start diving into this stuff. And some of it I just don't understand. Some of it's just like, oh, okay. Do I need to know this? Probably not. But if that's what you tell me, then that's what we're going to do. And then the other thing is, it's still basically using the original pin maps right now for the Duo or whatever that board is. So I need to go through and because I know that like pin 12 is the toggle pin for turning the robot on and off. So we shouldn't be using pin 12 for anything but turning it on and off. So I need to delete that out of the pin map. I'm just not real sure yet how to delete stuff out of the pin map. That's something, you know. You're also, I think I've got access to the I2C pins, but I don't have access to the SPI pins. So the SPI library that's in the core right now is pretty much useless because you really don't have access to those pins. But I could use I2C if I wanted to. So I could build some, you know, I could put my own sensors on there and not even use the robots sensors that are already there.
Unless they're already using those pins for something else.
No, I'm pretty sure when I looked at the command module pinout that they give you, that I2C was available. At least the pins for it were available. I don't know if I2C
Some of those
actually.
little DB9 connectors probably.
Yeah, it's on one of those. Actually, I think it's on two separate. I think they got analog 4 on one and then analog 5 on another one, which I went, okay, whatever, but it's I2C, so you could use, you know. I haven't tried that yet. So in theory, I probably could hook up like an I2C display or something and just
Yeah.
have it. Or an I2C, one of those I2C radar modules or whatever. You wouldn't even need to really talk to any of the sensors that are on the robot. You just need the robot to be able to drive. Just need access to the motors. Which now I think I have.
So on the motors, do you tell it to go a direction at a speed for a distance? Or do you tell it to go until there's a bump? Or do you have to poll whether or not there's a bump and tell the motor to stop?
Okay, that's a complicated thing. There's three different command modes to it. There's normal, there's safe, and then there's I don't know what it's called. It's not safe. Basically, in the not safe mode, this thing would run, even though it's got drop sensors, it would run right off the table.
Okay,
And in that particular mode, you would need to go through and pull all the sensors all the time to make sure that, you know,
you're not
drop,
over the edge.
drop
Yeah.
sensors or whatever have not activated. In the safe mode, the robot itself still has control over, so the drop sensors activate, even if you told it to drive, the drop sensors activate and it stops and it waits for you to come back and do something about it.
Okay,
In normal mode, that would be the vacuum kind of mode.
Mhm.
So if the drop sensor activated, it would back itself up and make a left turn or a right turn and go on. So that's normal. But in safe mode, it'll come right up to the edge, it'll stop and it'll go, "Bow, bow. What do you want me to do?" So you
Okay.
have to come and interact with it, probably pick it up and hit the button, put it back on.
oh, so at that point, you can't use it and you can't tell it what to do in software?
You could tell it, I mean, if you're polling the sensors, which you should be doing, then yes, you could tell it what to do. But if for whatever reason it's a test program or whatever, and you're not even thinking about pulling the sensors, it will just stop and wait for you to deal with it.
Okay,
And there's no real way to, I mean, there's no wireless or anything, so there's no way to update it over the air or anything. You'd have to pick it up and bring it back to plug it in and reprogram it. So you could program, if you could program it that if there's any error or anything, that you pick it up and wait for you to hit the button.
okay.
But that's the difference between safe mode and danger mode. I don't know. They call it something special, but danger mode, if you're not pulling those sensors, it's going to do something stupid,
As it should.
as it should. But there,
Raise here.
oh, he's here.
No.
No, he's on the thing. But basically they recommend you go in safe mode though,
Mhm.
because that way you can't really hurt
Hey,
it.
Ray.
Hey,
Where are we walking?
Where you at? There you are. How's the meeting going, guys?
Good.
You in Hamilton? Where do you at?
No, No, I'm not over in the Eastern time zone.
You are in Seattle.
I am in Seattle, yes.
Cool.
So we actually have the original Starbucks site in the original Starbucks store. It's pretty
Yep.
cool. Saw that over there. So
Cool.
my daughter and I are touring around over here. We ran into somebody yesterday that had a laser machine. And they were talking to us about what equipment they have. So what's going on over there with you guys?
We're talking robots.
Yes.
Right. I can make it play music now.
So where I'm at, there's a lot of waterfalls. If it gets too loud, I'll mute. Okay.
It's not bad now.
I'm kind of going in and out of the waterfall areas. It gets rumbly like right there, and then go over to some normal areas off the side.
Show us around.
So what is this white thing with the green terminals on it? Since I missed.
It's the iRobot Create,
Okay, cool.
and I can make it play music now.
You don't want to walk the whole thing?
Now it just needs to play better songs.
Now you need to put the 1812 overture in there.
Yeah.
But the charge.
Ba-na-na-na.
You know the original program that was on there when I got it, it played Star Wars music right before it took off and drove around.
Okay.
I remember many, many, many years ago, I had an Apple IIe and Byte magazine, and they had this dual tone song off of an Apple internal speaker. And it had 700 or 800 that you type in by hand.
Have it a hammer or put him in the background?
Somewhere in the middle, I had a mistake.
No.
What's the weather like out there, Ray?
Freaking beautiful, man.
It looks like it.
It's you see the this little waterfall behind me, and it just down and down and down and down several blocks.
Is that the ocean out there behind you too? Or is that
No, it's the sound, Puget Sound.
Okay.
We're right next to the Seattle Aquarium, the Ferris wheel. There's a bunch of stuff out here. Here, see behind me, there's a guy swinging a hammer.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
It's
Is that Armin?
Armin Andrew.
That was the guy's name. Armin Hammer.
Oh, okay.
let me switch my camera.
Wow.
So we're gonna go down the steps here and I go over to the Ferris wheel and stuff. I feel almost guilty for missing out on my weekly meetings. But I told Candace, like, oh no, I want to see this. I want to talk to these guys, and I'm here with her. So I was like, yeah, give me 30 minutes. And so I'm gonna fall down these steps here. I'm looking at the video and trying to walk down the steps.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself, Ray.
Yeah. This whole place is amazing. There's that's Pike Market up there, isn't it? The Pike Market where we were at?
Could be.
That's Post Alley. I think it's the market. Yeah, I think it goes up to the market where we were at before. And then more, this is all just the water that's pumped up to the top, and then it just drains all the way down multiple blocks here. We're going over to the aquarium. We'll figure that out. We might be going over to the Pop Culture Museum later today.
Have you gone to the underground tunnels?
No. We're doing everything like the normal tourist people do. No underground tunnels for us.
Well, that's a big tourist attraction in Seattle.
My dad's been to Seattle a few times.
I think I've only seen like 5 women over 190 pounds. The rest of them are physically fit, running around on bicycles and wait, I'll wait. I think every 4th car is a Tesla.
Yep.
That kind of makes sense.
Whether it is a bee.
Whatever we want. I think we're just gonna go. All right. So anyway, I don't want to dominate any part of the video, the meeting today. I'm just kind of checking in and listening to what you guys got going on.
Well, I've been working on. I wrote a board core for the Arduino IDE for that robot, and that's about it.
Okay.
I think I've seen this little part of Seattle. I think I understand why my dad likes it so much. He goes out there every couple of years.
I was out there
I'm just panning around. Chill out.
86, 87. It wasn't so pretty then.
We're over there, aren't we?
There's,
Yeah. All right.
There's a Ferris wheel.
Guys, if I stay on this video, I'm gonna run into traffic, walk into traffic. So I gotta go.
Don't walk into traffic, Ray.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, you'll be on Reddit next week.
If I do that, I'll end up missing next week's meeting, and I don't want to do that either. So.
Well,
Where's the bird? Okay.
tour of Seattle. Are you out there actually working, Ray, or is this like a mini family vacation?
I had 2 customers in Seattle, and we were supposed to have 3. One of them canceled, but my daughter was like, hey, since I don't get to spend a whole lot of time in town, she was asking if she could go to Seattle with me. So I was like, well, guess it won't cost a whole lot more, you know.
Right.
We got her a plane ticket, and everything else is just kind of stays in my hotel room and rides around in my car with me, and you know, all that stuff. So we've gone to a whole bunch of places yesterday. seeing our customer Monday and Tuesday. So we went tourism stuff on Wednesday, Thursday. We got Friday morning, and I'll be flying home on Friday.
Hey,
Oh, Vicente.
Hi.
Vicente, how you doing?
Right.
Well, we're gonna move along, and I'll show you this.
Yeah, all those glass blocks, they look down into the underground.
Chicago, where is?
Vicente, how's this for a background?
He was in Seattle.
We can talk to you guys, and how's that for a
Was
live
there.
background?
Exactly there.
Oh, yeah, you just got back from out there, didn't you?
Huh?
Don't
You
be a
just got back
stranger,
from
Ray.
out there. You were out there last week?
I can't hear you that well.
Don't be a stranger.
Where all did you go, Vicente?
What?
Where all did you go?
I was in an island in close to Canada, looking for whales. Whale watching. Very nice
They're
place.
They're big.
Huh?
Pretty hard to use your whale. They're big.
No, it's not easy. They use a whales
Keep
to
track.
share information. We can go for a 2 hours to see them. Depending on what they are.
You didn't like that green?
I poured out 5 or 6. Thought I'd share 'em. Make sure Vicente doesn't get any of them.
Let me show the proof. Many pictures. I was in Mont Rainier, in the close to the mountain. It's a nice place also.
You went home just in time, Vicente.
Yeah. No,
The air quality has
yeah,
the air quality has really gotten bad in the last week.
I was very lucky because the weather was amazing. The temperature was very nice. This is in the same place that is Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Last week. That's
How'd your daughter like this San Diego oceanography bit?
right.
That's
Oh,
where
cool.
Ray's at.
You see this.
Cool.
That's the Ferris wheel in the background, Ray. He's showing you. You can't see it very well.
Ray just showed the,
Whales.
The wheel. Yeah.
Ray just showed the wheel where he was at. He's walking around out there, so. And he's muted now. He can't talk to us.
I need to change my phone. It's over.
Oh, are you guys leaving?
We just want to say goodbye because we're going into the aquarium.
Okay, we will, we'll see you later. Don't be a stranger.
Well, if I get out, I might get into the next session, the video, or just talk to you later.
Well,
All right.
we're done at 6:45.
Okay.
So we'll see you
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, very cool.
Wheels. Orcas.
Orcas,
Just
yeah.
Killing whales.
Oh, yeah. We went to Maui. We were going snorkeling in the crater off of Maui. And we're coming into the crater head and coming out was a whale and a baby whale. And they came right by the boat. It was cool. Hawaii, they got whales all over the place. You see a lot of whales or
Excuse me?
did you see it? See
Yeah,
a lot of
well, we went several times and the island, the name of the island is Orcas.
Oh, okay.
Orcas Island is a
Oh.
specific place to see the orcas.
Oh, that command is just simply called full.
You did something with this Roomba?
Yeah, you missed it.
I will check the video in YouTube.
I told you I wrote a
Yeah.
core or started to write a core. So I can program this thing now with the Arduino IDE.
You are using a serial pen or
Finally, it's part of the
do you
Yeah.
use this for programming? Okay.
part of the problem, the command module wasn't talking to the robot. So the commands to make it drive and make it play music and do all that weren't being sent.
Yeah.
So, that was a big deal. And one of the things, the frequency of the processor was wrong.
What are all those connectors?
Those are
CC?
GPIOs,
Okay.
because the command module,
To add sensors and stuff.
yeah,
Come on, what
the command module will come out, and then you can use it.
in this?
You could use it without the command module.
Okay.
The robot has an onboard processor. The command module talks over serial to that processor. Basically, it's a bunch of just hex commands that it sends, or Pipe
You need to
commands.
use a ESP32
you
or
could,
OTA.
you could.
Couple cables and
Yeah.
send commands and.
Well, so a lot of projects, at least in the modern, because this is only a 168, so it's only 16K.
Okay.
It's small, and a lot of projects will use
The
that.
serial port.
Yeah.
To send commands to the port.
This kind of takes the place of this, or vice versa.
But this thing is from 2012 or something like that.
Yeah,
10 years ago, but 8 years ago.
2011,
Oh, yeah.
2006.
So, well, the Arduino was, is the time when the Arduino was released, 2006, 7. So,
It doesn't officially support the Arduino. That's the weirdest.
because this thing was before Arduino.
That is the weirdest part of all of it. I mean, it's basically an Atmega 168. It was about around the same time.
Half of memory program.
But through the use of being able to write my own core for it, I can,
Well, we need to see that going, using the, do you remember what we plotted the carpet?
Oh,
how
the-
the vinyl stuff with the
the maze.
trays.
Yeah,
Maybe good idea, try to use it,
yeah.
to follow the line of the trays.
Should be able to because it's got the drop sensors.
Okay,
So you should be able to read the drop sensors, right? I would think you should be able to read the drop sensors and know if you're on a line or not on a line.
yeah, they are to separate, you need two of them closer to the line. If not, you will be just
Yeah, it'll probably do that.
sweeping all the time.
Wow. I've got GPIO, so I could use it.
I told you I bought one, but looks like a scam, you know.
That one was too
name,
cheap.
I use PayPal, but the name is a number. At another letters, random letters.com, you know.
That one.
The address is in Nevada. I use Google Earth to look for. Very weird place to have a company to sell stuff. So
Even on eBay.
I
I mean,
lost $70, $65.
well, on eBay, the Create 2, which is the one that you
Yeah, but
said,
in eBay it costs 300.
300.
Yeah, so
That's-
when I
that's-
saw 75, they say, okay, let's
Well, but that should have been your first clue that there was something wrong.
let's flip a coin. Well, maybe in a couple of weeks I have it, but I don't know.
I think I got that one for, I think I got 65, I think is what I paid for that one. But that one's all, I mean, it's old.
But I think that you are patient. You can have anything under 100 at least. If you want.
I've seen a few of the Create 2s come up on eBay that have been used, pre-owned, for like 120. So you don't see them very often, but you see them, and usually people snag them up pretty fast.
Well,
But see, I don't know. I like this one because of the command module, and it gives you. I think it gives you a little bit of
you can specify
flexibility.
speed and direction, right?
Do I?
Speed, time, direction. So you have almost all kind of control.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what you were going. That's what I was looking for. You were talking about speed.
Yeah, you specify speed, duration, and time. So you can make it turn 180 degrees or whatever.
Yeah.
You need to-
There's two commands for doing the driving of the wheels. You've got a PWM command, which would give you some speed control, and then you've got just the drive command. I think if I remember the way that the drive command works, you send it to 2 byte values, like, and one of them is a speed and one of them is a radius, so it will actually turn for you,
Okay.
or it will go straight for you, or it will turn the other direction. I'm not sure what the PWM command does, but I mean, in my mind, PWM would be like
Speed.
how much speed you give it. So,
Mhm.
but I'm pretty sure that the program that they give as an example just uses the drive wheels command, and it's 2 values. It's
Left and right.
they don't say it's left and right. They're calling it speed and turning radius. But
So they decide what speed we have each model to perform.
I think there's some sort of processing or something going on board here.
Yeah.
That says, okay, if I need to keep both wheels going at 200, but I also need to make a radius, and it does some math in here and figure out what it's doing.
So if you send a command of PWM of 100.
Yeah.
It's gonna move forward at
But the
some speed.
PW,
If you tell it a radius, it slows one down and speeds one up by the other, by the same amount. So it's just a difference.
but the PWM is not for the movement. I think that it is for use for another stations, sensors or lights or whatever you want to put. It's not really with the motor.
It
With
says,
the powertrain, you know,
it says PWM motors.
motors.
That's what it says. Let's see here.
Is it library or what?
No, they give you, or they gave originally, and it took me a while to find the original C code.
But do I send you a link? There is a library to use that. For
Yeah.
doing
That is for using,
the serial, yeah.
yeah. It's
You need another Arduino board,
and
and you cannot use the serial port of the Arduino. You need to use another serial software serial thing.
right. Let's see what they've got going on.
And
This
it
is,
was 9,600 volts. 9 volts. So let's see.
they're defining drive velocity and radius.
And time? No.
No, just velocity and radius.
Well, the radius define the time.
It took me a while to find the original C code because it's not on their website anymore. I finally found that somebody had it up on Git, and that's when stuff started clicking. And I'm like, okay, this is all low level stuff. You gotta do stuff a certain way. But the big difference was the original core that I was using to make the program. Its frequency, its CPO frequency was like 16,000.
It's weirdly off.
And then the one for the one in here is like 18,000 something. It's like way different. So I think even if it was going to work, the timings were in such a way that they were off that it would never work. It was just causing all kinds of hate and discombobulation. But I don't see where they actually explain how the velocity and the radius actually work.
Yeah.
The
Well,
drive,
there is a couple of places in there where it says stop if something's going wrong and set the speed to 0
right?
and the angle at straight ahead or something like that.
So the drive commands are the next one that I want to work with to try to get it to actually do something. So maybe next week I might actually know something.
I think that they are using encoders to know how fast
Yeah,
the
and
wheel is moving.
I don't think that the command module is doing it. I think that the onboard processor on this, because this thing's got a far better processor than the command module.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's like a Atmega 2560. I've
Okay.
opened these things up before, and it's a decent processor.
Okay.
More IO.
That's more. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you've got a lot more sensors to deal with, and it's doing that weird time slicing thing where it's reading sensors while it's still doing something over here, which I think you'd have a hard time doing with the 168, just because it is a smaller amount of memory. I don't know, you probably could, because they're doing it with interrupts and weird stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I think the Atmega 256 or 2560 has more interrupts that it can read as well. For the drop sensors and stuff, are probably all connected to interrupts. They just interrupt the program, go do something else.
Yeah. Seems like that at 54 IO pins.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
a
think 5 of them were interrupts.
Usually you use four interrupts for two encoders.
yeah, but see, I don't think this thing actually. I think there's encoders on the wheels, but I don't know if it actually is using those encoders for anything important. I know it.
Is there any way that they can reach a specific angle of rotation?
Yeah.
Because the battery changes the voltage on time. So when it's full, the motor has a
Yeah.
speed. For the same PWM, you have different speeds depending on the battery voltage.
I know it. There's a sensor in here reading this thing that'll tell you if it's moving or not.
Okay.
So
Well,
I don't know if they're using the encoders. They must be using the encoders to make it can go straight. Or
Yeah,
it has a sensor in the
yeah, there's a sensor.
master wheel.
There's a sensor in there that says I'm moving or I'm not moving. And it's real low resolution, as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really don't need to know much.
It's
Is it
one
moving or is
pulse,
it not moving? So,
one pulse per revolution.
Am I going or not going?
yeah.
And then it's if these drop sensors, there's 3 drop sensors or 4 drop sensors up here, and if these miss it, then there's a drop sensor.
Oh, okay.
So-
It is to know when it's
Yeah.
in the air or is.
Yeah. Well, the wheels, there's a switch on the wheels so that it knows. And these, but if the
that's how
drop,
it knows if you pick it up. Okay.
so it knows if it's been picked up. But the drop sensor, if for whatever reason the IR drop sensor is missing, it's got the physical, and it's probably still going to go over at that point, but at least it
Really?
stops the wheels. Yeah.
That one I've got, I am surprised at how quick it comes to a halt.
Yeah. Well, this is old and slow. So.
I think it actually, if it goes over an edge, it drives the wheels in reverse. Because I mean, it is just instant.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the interrupt, right? That would be the safety interrupt.
So is that just a handle or
Yeah.
does that,
Yeah, that's just interrupt.
mine doesn't have a handle. I get bitten when I pick mine up if I do it wrong.
This sensor right here, that's the wall sensor.
Mhm.
So it knows if it's following the edge of the wall or not. This thing is packed full of sensors. There was of course, this one doesn't have it, but there was a sensor on this motor to tell if it was
Stop.
either spinning or something.
Yeah, I got a thread wrapped around mine at one point.
It has the brush motor there.
They took it out, but that's where the brush motor Would have been.
What is this little slot for? That looks very deliberate. You had to have done something.
6:46, we better.
Oh, they didn't make their announcement.
Nah,
I was waiting for the
Maybe
announcement.
now
All
we're
right,
at 7:30.
we gotta give.
all right, Art. I think it's time to go. We're down to
Take
3
care.
minutes anyway.
See you
according
next
to
week.
Good
We'll see
night.
you next week.
With a brand new show.